G'day, mate. Shall I throw a pip on the barbie for you? Ripper! So good morning, everybody. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, however, good or not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne McDonell. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Please visit TradersWay.com and open up a trading account. I am here to earn your loyalty and respect, and the way that you show that, and just, of course, common courtesy, would be to open up at least a demo account, which is free and easy, takes 30 seconds. But eventually, we would like to help you become a successful Forex trading person, and then maybe one day a successful Forex trading business, and we are your prime brokerage. That's what we would like. We want to work for you. And again, I'm here simply to earn your loyalty and respect and help you become a success. I do these sessions every day, 7:30 a.m. Monday through Friday here at Forex.Today. Except the first Friday of the month, I'm at FX Street, where I have been doing trade non-farm payrolls live for over 11 years. That makes me the oldest guy in the room. So it is Wednesday, the 17th of May, 2017. Coolio. Very interesting indeed. Stupid Windows bar won't go away. Why isn't it not hiding? Yeah, now go away. There we go. Life is great, life is grand, life is good. Okay, where do you want to start? Let's do Beast. Up, up, up. Monthly resistance, weekly resistance, head and shoulders, down, 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 down. How do you measure the target on a head and shoulders? You identify a neckline. Okay. You measure the top of the crown. I didn't want to do that. Okay. You measure the top of the crown because it's also a crown pattern. And you put that on the neckline, and you get the target. It's amazing, huh? What I like is just to extend the neckline out, and you get the yeah, sure, for sure. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Then what? Extend that across. Extend this across. So on and so forth. Life is beautiful. Ooh. Yeah. All right. That's called price action, bro. That's hot. It's Beast coming down off of a reversal. So one of the things that we talked about briefly yesterday is knowing the places to expect such a thing to happen before it happens, and then look for it to happen so that when it happens, if it does happen, you know what's happening. So this may be a reasonably decent place for that to happen, maybe not. Boy, if it happened up here, huh? Pound kiwi. Yeah. Very strange that this watermark stopped working. I think I just can't find the watermark. It's just not even here. Hang on. Right, so there's no watermark there. And so therefore, I go to object list, text DR1 label, but we don't have DR1. Hit labels, 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 pivot label, range box. Yeah, see, there's just no, don't know how to get rid of that broken watermark. I guess I have to create a new template somehow. So, whatever. So what else do you know about this beast? And it's very binary because we talk about it almost weekly, and I say you're either right or you're wrong. False rally? No, I wouldn't call it that. First of all, the 4 hour on Friday predicted a double top or lower high. And there's nothing false about it. Yes, and don't get confused by the watermark. This is pound yen. Okay. Come on, guys. The 55 predicts a failure to make a higher high. So let me change the question then. Did the bulls do what they were supposed to do? Okay. Was there potential for this market to become bearish this week? And that would be because of the 55. So what were the bears supposed to do? Sell where? See, no, I wouldn't say the weekly M4 ride. Oh, but you didn't do the swing course, right? Yeah. No, a bear, a swing trading bear, is supposed to sell here. That's it. A bull is supposed to buy in here. Okay? So, I think both parties did what they were supposed to do, but this drop from the 21 to the 55 predicts, as a leading indicator now, even though the 55 is a lagging indicator, its usage is leading by predicting a lower high. Best case scenario, double top, but it's the same thing to me. Change of trend. Potential. Doesn't have to, but potentially a change of trend because the uptrend is slowing down. Right? And I'd be very cautious to be bullish again because we're below the M2. Yes, the S1's holding, but even then that only predicts maybe, if it wants to turn bullish, only to be bullish back into here, which isn't really that bullish. So I'm just saying it's not ridiculous. My first part of the conversation had to do with binary. Okay, what I'm saying is if you were bull, you still had to take the shot, but you understood you were at the 55 and that you were not confident in the higher high. And as a bear, you saw the retracement to 55, so you did sell at the M3. Okay? So if you did, either way, if you did what you were supposed to do as a bull or a bear, it worked out for you, because I don't think you lost money on that bullish entry. Shoot, I was up 100 pips. Okay? So a bull had the potential to make money, but certainly didn't lose money. And a bear is now making money. If you did anything else, you're wandering in hopeless night. Okay. Moving on to oil. Now, I believe we talked about it. I'm getting old. I'm an old man, so you'll have to remind me. We had a discussion about this, likely to have problems breaching the $50 psychological area. Not just because it's psychological, but also because it's considered the weekly top. And very often when you hit your weekly target early in the week, it has a propensity to want to retrace back to the central pivot. Is that how you remember it? Because if you remember it differently, then that's all that matters, because then, according to your brain, that's what happened. Whatever you think happened is what you believe, you interpret as happening. Let me ask differently. Were we talking about this blowing through the weekly WR2, WM4, blowing through the $50 psych level because we were so gosh darn bullish? So what do you remember? I think we talked about whether you ignore WM4. Yes, that's longer term. That's not this week. I'm talking about what we talked about yesterday. Our target of like back to 54, that was 2 weeks ago. Okay, what did we talk about yesterday? Somebody said, well, it was supposed to go to, R2. Wasn't that the conversation? And I'm like, supposed to? Oh, whoa. No? You don't remember this conversation? Maybe it didn't happen. Maybe I had this conversation with myself. Because I'm like, whoa, it doesn't have to. Yes, it opened up hot. Yes, it's above the weekly. Yes, it's very bullish. All that kind of stuff, but it doesn't have to, right? It doesn't have to do anything. And didn't we talk about like maybe cutting your lot size in half because it doesn't have to? And I said, are you really that bullish and that confident that you're going to easily get through this $50 psychological level? You think people are just not going to take profit there? You just, no, wasn't it like a big long conversation? Didn't I talk like 20 minutes about it? Yeah, M4 being your conservative, and you have to align it with your aggressiveness, and are you really that certain? And Wow, all right. Golly gee whiz, Batman. Yeah, doubling of rigs, decline in exploration. Anyways, okay. Ryan's got my back. That's exactly what I was. Ryan's always got my back. You better watch it, bro, or sick Ryan on you. So I don't know. Looking at this M4, I mean, I think it came into play a second time, right? Now notice on the short term, you're looking at it as down, 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 but it could be for an Elliott wave guy, just a 3-wave correction, right? And on a higher time frame, that's a buy zone. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here if it continues down. So the top of the trend, most recent low, previous high. All right. Now, if this rolls over, then you got to adjust. Lowest low, highest high, current low. So it's supposed to, if it's going to continue down, it needs to roll over now. Okay. Now maybe it spikes down, but the oil market is open now, isn't it? Yeah, it's 720, was it? Coolio. So pay attention, right? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. This is, again, an obvious area to manage your risk appropriately. It's an opportunity to do your job, right? All right. How do you like them apples? Is it fair to say we got the reversal that we predicted 2 weeks ago? Now remember, this thing was straight up like a rocket ship, wasn't it? Right? It was up for every single day for a month. And all of a sudden we're like, whoa, it kind of feels like it's going to reverse now based on, I think it was a drop to the 4-hour 55 or something. Let me zoom back in. Yeah, this drop here, do you remember? It's been up every day for a month. And then I'm like, oh, look, it's going to double top. Again, using the lagging indicator to predict the future. How lovely is that? Skills, bro. I remember doing a presentation, and I'm guessing it was the 2008 Trading Expo in Los Angeles. Yeah. Because I remember getting a phone call. I put an offer on in like an 8-bedroom house, and they said yes to it. And I was on the phone right before going into an interview. Anyways, turns out once I got back, I paid $1,000 to have a home inspector test the air inside the house. $1,000. full of mold spores. Whoops! No way, Jose. Mold spores. I'm like, is it bad mold? Streptococcus? I'm like, Streptococcus, is that bad? It's called black mold or death mold. I'm like, really? Better try to get the price down by 3%, huh? Yeah. So I backed out. I legally owned it for 5 days or something, but I was able to get out. So anyways, I remember getting a call, so I think that would have been about 2008. But my point was, I believe my title of the presentation back then was Leading and Lagging Indicators. I also spoke on a panel. Do you know Noble Dracone? I think it was, you and I were on a panel. Anyways, long time ago, old man stuff. I was an old man then, so. You know what? I almost miss doing conferences now. I almost miss it. I haven't done it for a while. I used to do it all the time. All right, so anyways, leading and lagging indicators. And this lagging indicator predicted the future. What? So don't you love it? Like when you hear experts, they're like, oh, don't use like moving averages. They're lagging indicators. They're right. Do you ever hear something like that? Like, that's a lagging indicator. Like, I don't know what you hear. You see other people than me, I'm sure. I don't know what you're taught. But there used to be a time when the people would discount things like, that's a lagging indicator, right? Oh, the Fib Queen does that? So here's the thing, it's just that they don't know how. So like when you ask me about stuff, right? You're like, well, how about this, or what about that indicator? And I'm very quick to say, you know what? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't say no. I don't know. So yes, lagging indicators like moving averages measure past performance. Great. But I predict the future all day, every day, right? So I use my lagging indicators to predict, right? So anyways. Yeah, and they found it hasn't worked for them because, you know, they're looking, they want their charts to make answers for them, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. Who cares? I don't know. Who cares? But what I'm just suggesting is we very quickly, and I believe I was very, like, matter of fact, potential for a reversal. It's been up. And up 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 and up. That's it. Right? Time to walk away. Start looking for the end of the trend. Don't get all excited. Right? So anyways. And then look at that. Now we got our lower low. Now to think about it, like, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, this is 8 days in advance. In an aggressive uptrend, right? And it's not me. I'm not saying it's me. What I'm saying is it's the analysis. But bear in mind, I invented all this crap, right? Which moving averages to use, which pivot points to use, how to use pivot points, and just the price action, and put in all the, it's just blood, sweat, and tears for years. And all of a sudden, you know, it starts to look plausible, right? Like, don't you look at this and is anyone getting to the point where they're like, dang, this is plausible. I might actually learn how to do this. Right? You might actually be able to put a sign outside your office that says, you know, Ryan, professional Forex trader, right? I mean, it's there, right? It's within grasp. It's better than the other guys that are like, you know, Wayne, yard maintenance, pressure washing, driveway cleaning, window washing, gutter cleaning service. You also put mulch on your, just anything you want, actually. You know, if you want me, I'll kill your neighbor as he sleeps for you, and I'll pressure wash your driveway. Well, I mean, I just need money, dude. Pool cleaner. You got a pool? You got a pool? I'm a pool cleaner. Yeah. All right, peso we don't need. So how do you think about what my gold buyer is thinking right now? Where here I said, yeah, don't worry about it. It's going to drop to 12.17, and then that will be the low for the month of May. And now we're up $30 an ounce from my 12.17 call. Holy snap! But we talked about it on the way down. Not after the fact. Holy snicker-schnucker! I mean, that's awesome, right? Problem is, we're done here at 12:47, but still, huh? Damn! But we got to be careful that, you know, from here, I don't know. Honestly, from here, I don't know, because it looks like a bottom, you know, like, I don't know. That's it, right? But still. Don wants to hold for some time. All right. So let's look at that. Okay. Are you in the free and cleared yet? No. What was most recently made? A lower low or a higher high? I say lower low. Okay? Because what I see here is a low to high. Okay? So I guess you're saying that way. Well, yeah, okay. Either way. See, it's close, man. It's a little too much. See, I wouldn't be confident in it yet because the 786 predicts somewhere. I don't know where, and that's the problem. Okay? It predicts a bottom or a lower high. I just don't know where. So here, this week or next week. So I'm not confident in it at all. I'm not saying it can't do it. I just said it's not going to be easy. Okay, and be careful of my language too, right? I said 12.17 would be the low for the month of May. I didn't say it can't go lower in June. And we could also double bottom at 12.17 in May because it would still be the low. Okay? But if you're talking to somebody that's worried about gold having just dropped $100 an ounce, and you say, no, that's the low, 12.17. Don't worry, don't worry about it right now. It's reassuring on the short term, but I ain't saying this is going up. All I said was 12.17 is the low. So, but I can see how you're considering this as a higher low. Yeah, but it's a 786. I mean, it's not a confident higher low. Okay. And I'm also looking at like this area to me. I mean, we could easily make that where we are now the top. Okay. And if it went a little higher, that could totally be the top. Okay. Do you think 1,250 might be a psych level? So, so again, I'm simply being forward with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. In fact, there's nothing here to tell me that you're right. I think you're going to have a little bit of hope in your strategy. Sometimes that pays off. It's just not much of a strategy. So yeah, you got to be careful, like where you actually entered. Did you enter at the 12.17? What are you going to do if it does double bottom? Is your stop below 12? So I would treat this, I don't know, I would treat this as more like a shorter term strategy than a longer term strategy. One of the things you could do if you're going to leave it open is move your stop. But what you're betting on, and right now I think it is a bet, and I hope you're betting down here, not at here. Because if you're just entering now, then that's just ridiculous, right? Because this is a sell zone. Maybe I'm not saying it clear enough. This is a sell zone. 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 And of course the double top's a sell zone. So you got like, whoa, bro, you got a lot of resistance. And according to this drop, there's not very much confidence in the bull market. Don says, well, it's a small position. Never say that to me. I don't care if it's $2 or $2 billion. It's either a good trade or it's a bad trade, right? It's either solid or not solid. The probabilities are high or the probabilities are low, right? That's it. So I'm just trying to break it down so that we can all see the risk, right? And I'm reminding you, I never said up. I said no more down. Then you can do whatever you want with that, right? So. Yeah, 12.20. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Sure. So, one strategy is jam your stop and take a walk, but like I said, this could come down and double bottom. And it'd probably start today if it did. Where would it start? How about right there? Okay, any cheeky monkey scalpers in the house? Whoop, whoop. Because that might be a double top. Hey, are you in the nose? Huh? You will be watching. Yeah, well, you're not a scalper if you're watching. Right. Every once in a while I hear people like sports fans are like, oh, my team. Right? Oh, the Atlanta Falcons, they're my team. I'm like, really? When did you get drafted? Because that's amazing. Damn, really? I didn't even know you played football. Oh. No, I just cheer for them. So you don't get paid? Then why are you so enthusiastic? You're like fanatical. Yeah. Well, I can't force feed people, right? Plus, things click at different, you got to have a long history of other little bits and pieces before it makes sense. Because the funny thing is, if I just jump in and do something like, okay, boom, I'm going to sell here, and everyone's like into it, you don't get it. You don't get why. And how is much less important than why. Because if you know it's going to fall, then I don't really care how you sell it. I don't care if it's candlestick patterns, moving average crossovers, oscillator crossovers, price action, candlesticks, blah, 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 hocus pocus, smoking mirrors, lighting candles, tea leaves, I knew someone that used to burn like placenta. I'm like, where did you get your placenta? Because I don't have a good source. It's my placenta lady, she's horrible. Yeah, when you live in San Francisco, you got to ask questions. Like, you can be a guest at someone's house. You wake up in the morning, there's someone in the kitchen cooking breakfast. You're like, oh, hey, so what do you got cooking? They're like, oh, I'm cooking placenta. I'm like, what? Yeah, rich and poor. Oh, I gotta go. I have an early appointment, and woo. Yeah. Oh, is it? No joke. You gotta be careful in San Francisco. People are a little different. That was the day I became vegan. So anyways, yeah, so I don't care what you do, right? Because this person also would not just eat some, but like burn some into a little bowl until it's a dust, and then sprinkle a dust and do a spiritual hoo-ha, ya-ya, and I don't know. She was a witch. So whatever, if you gotta like do something, if a goat dies and you place a trade, look, as long as it's in the right direction, I don't really care what goes down. Astrology, yeah, one of my favorites is actually trading commodities based on the migration of African elephants, because it would predict rain, which they would extrapolate like the rain patterns this year in Africa, but then from that you can extrapolate maybe rain patterns globally, and from that you can figure out, is it going to rain in the Ukraine, or will it be dry in the Ukraine? Will it rain in Canada? Will it, right? So sort of like butterfly effect stuff. Because if you figure if it's going to be dry in that part of Africa, then it's got a certain weather pattern, like, I don't know, like El Nino or La Nina or whatever. There's all kinds of weather pattern strategies now. So if you could predict whether it's going to be dry and the African elephants have to go much further than normal, then then you can make prediction A, B, and C. And so maybe you're buying wheat but selling corn and dumping your soybeans, or maybe buying soybeans like crazy. Maybe it predicts things like if it's dry in East Africa, what's it going to be like in West Africa and your cocoa beans, right? So Ivory Coast, you're like, oh, well, typically if it's dry over there, it's going to be raining in Cameroon, and that's not going to be bad or good for cocoa yield, so I'm going to have to buy some cocoa futures. I mean, it gets really interesting, right? Cause and effect. Yeah, Don says, well, with commodities, it's not completely illogical. No, not at all. And remember, money crosses borders for a reason. You don't just do it, generally. I mean, you can do it for safety, but that's a reason, right? But, like, if you need to buy cocoa from Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, right? Then you need to move some money over there. So this happens all the time. When you're doing deals, right? It's all part of the process. Money's got to move, and then you got to hedge, and then you got to do that. And But the money part is where we exist, right? Look at that bad boy, Oscar Mike, huh? USD yen. So when did we do this one? Was it Monday? Looks like we did, huh? Monday, maybe Tuesday. I drew this pitchfork for you as a reminder down. Right? Look at that. So here's the thing, I'm not an expert in pitchforks. See, I have no problem telling you that. Hey, I'm not an expert in pitchforks. But an expert in pitchforks would tell you, because we're outside this pitch, that there's a certain probability that it'll snap back to the central fork. I don't know what that probability is. I don't know. It's either more or less than 50. Those are some. You ever talk to somebody that's not actually giving you some good answers? He's like, well, I've been looking at it. It's either more or less than 50%. I'm like, well, wait, that's not an answer at all. Robbie says they focus on slope. Yeah. Well, so Robbie says focus on the slope. So this could change now. So if this did come back to the central, the central fork or line, you would probably readjust here. But there's no reason to do it yet. It's just the fact that we're lower. And that's a little too aggressive, I believe, is how you'd read this. Okay? So my guess, using all my other tools, is down to 200, back to the central, and then probably down into here. But then that means if this 200 becomes the new low, then once it heads back, you'll have to adjust to here, right? And you can see then that adds up. But then you can also see why I don't use pitchforks generally, because I'm just going to eyeball this area as the new sell. And so I'd say, well, back up probably to the top of this and then down. And then if it did something like that, then you got to readjust here. And I don't know. So like what tools you use, to me, doesn't matter. I mean, think about it. As long as you wake up in the morning and you're like, sell, the rest is, I don't know, taste. Peter says, what is the general idea of the pitchfork? Good. Why don't you spend the next year reading about it and let us know. Yeah, I mean, seriously. I know people have done it, right? How about this? Yeah, to clutter your chart. No. There's good problem. You know, I don't know. Next time you're at FX Street, go to David Pegler's webinar. Tell him I said hi. You have to do that. And say, hey, Wayne told me you're the foremost expert, the only expert he trusts with pitchforks, because I actually call them Pegler pitchforks, just out of respect. And say, hey, Wayne wants you to teach me how to use Pegler pitchforks. Would you do that? I'm sure he would. Give him the proper respect, though, like I said. Okay? Because before I taught him how to trade and helped him get a Series 3 license and all that kind of stuff, he started with pitchforks. Okay. So I can tell you how I use them, but I'm not an expert, so I don't need them either. So what do we do here? Oh, Kiwi. Now this is interesting. Talk to me, Goose. First of all, are we on our way? Drop back down to the 55, predicts the lower high. Monday, we're drawing a sell zone at the monthly M4, weekly M3. This is an obvious bearish area. If you're a bull, you buy it here. If you're a bear, you sell it there. Well, that kind of looks bearish off the monthly top. This is the next level, monthly M4. That's monthly R2. So very easy for a bear. Weekly M3, there's your sell zone. You knew it's Sunday. You got it Monday or Tuesday. Okay? Well on our way, right? All you had to do is be a bear. There's enough information here to be a bear. But what's the most interesting part about this chart? Okay? Not this. Okay? It's helpful. But remember, this is irrelevant because we already knew the MR2 was going to be the issue. Cool. What's the most interesting thing here? Yeah, Peter, I think it's just probabilities with the pitchfork. It helps you stay confident because you say to yourself, oh, there's a 72% probability it'll go back to this other area. But, you know, to me, it's just price action, really. But okay. Talk to me, Goose. Is this going up or is this going down this week? Down, okay. Tell me about the dairy auctions. Yeah, 3.1% up? Something like that? Yeah, and a trend in place. Whoa. So something's going wrong here. There's a mispricing. Are you prepared to take advantage of the mispricing in the market? Yeah, well, that's our job, right? To say, oh, this is mispriced. You're like, oh, look at that. That's weird. Just saying, it helps to think when you're trying to predict the future. You have to think ahead if you're going to predict the future. Otherwise, you're stuck in the past. Okay? And of course, and then let me draw this to make the point. Just I want to do an ellipse. Kiss my lips. Okay. We did talk about that as being the top. We did. Weekly R2, monthly R2. There's an interest rate decision coming up, I believe, and all of this other stuff, and blah, 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 blah. So, no one to hold them, no one to fold them, and we talked about a couple of opportunities to fold at tops, and no one to run. I mean, right, there's so many coincidences, right? Day after day after day after day after day after day after day, that maybe they're not coincidences. Where suddenly this goes up to $79.34 and drops like a ton of bricks. But at the time, knowing the probability of this going any higher is incredibly low. But if it did, it would have to be because for some reason the central bank wants to jack up interest rates and appreciate their currency. Guess what? They didn't. But it seems to me they wouldn't want to. So isn't it amazing also, and put this in perspective, and I'm not going to be able to zoom in enough. I really want to zoom in here, and it won't let me here. I'd have to monkey around too long. Okay? Isn't it amazing that 1 minute before the interest rate decision out of the RBNZ comes out, we're exactly $79.34. It's kind of amazing, isn't it? Any price in the world, it could be. That's what you would say. Any price in the world, it can be. Yeah. So, right? And we're there. Maybe not a coincidence. So there must be logic to it, or at least greed and fear, at the very least. So it's, once again, obtainable. You have to understand people. So, yeah, that's that. No pullback yesterday. For shame. Very dangerous. Life is great, life is grand, life is good. Life is beautiful. Ooh. Just, we got 90 seconds to the bottom of the hour. I'm out of coffee, bro. It's way on the other side of the house. One more minute. 15 minutes overbought, 5 minutes overbought. So this is often a time of day where you get some volatility. Just watching the news here. So they're saying euro up 0.13%, yen stronger 0.28%, pound the strongest 0.3%. Over the course of a week, euro 1.62%, franc 1.64%, yen half that, pound half that. So why don't we do this? Let me go reload my cup of coffee because I'm just sad without it. And then I'll go through some of your trade plans, maybe 2 trade plans on Forex.Today. And then we'll wrap her up. Just, the cupboard is bare, man. Look at that. Cupboard is bare. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Be back in like 1 minute. And I'm back. Guess I can't do full Z's. All right, you guys still with me? Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate that. Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum bum boom. All right, daily. Seems neutral, doesn't it? Yeah, neutral, but I heard you can pick them up for $6 at the Shire. Hobbits, be competitive. Okay, neutral, I'm looking at halfway between the top and the bottom. Doesn't really give you a keen sense of direction. What's actually more important is what's happening to the left here, which I cannot see. Okay. Another key bit here is you do see it's a high relative to this area. So where this red line is, the red line is support. Once again, this looks like a buy zone right here. I can't quite see. Is this a sell? Golly, that's a sell, isn't it? No, that's a buy? Good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Based on what I see here, of course, right? A, B, C, D. All right. So you got a trend line going here. All right. See the, yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these trend lines because you drew it there because you already knew that this is where you want to buy it. So now you have a trend, but this could easily just break through that. And I'm like, well, where's your trend? So it feels like you just put that there for confidence, which is, I suppose, fine. And you're saying that this is the bottom, it's your D. Fine. Okay. See, what I'm looking at here is that we just know somewhere in this cluster is where you're going to buy. So yeah, whatever you want to do to buy is fine. Yeah, you have a lot of lines and some fibs, which are actually pointing down. So maybe you're saying this is the retracement extension for your ABC. Okay, that's fine. I don't tend to enter on reversing like off of extensions and stuff, but I don't see anything wrong with it as long as you buy that support, right? So like, where would this double bottom be, for example? Where's the bottom end support? Well, right in here. So yeah, whatever floats your boat on the other stuff, as long as you're buying it low, I'm okay with. But there's something missing from your charts. What do you think it is? What's missing from this that would help me make decisions? John says, yeah, more confidence, the better, right? Yeah, even if it's false confidence, sure. But like that trend line could be nonsense. Pivot points. Yeah. Dom's got pivot points somewhere else. Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm only analyzing this. So price action up is fine. Where the part I don't know, based on what you've provided me, is whether the trend is this way, which would be wrong for you, right? So that would suppose, right? Or the opposite. Okay. See, I don't have any relevant information here. This chart doesn't help me at all, except this used to be resistance, right? But everything left of this is irrelevant. Right? Yeah. Overlapping price action, typical, yeah, we call that support or resistance. So, really, this daily chart offers no relevant information that isn't already found on the 4-hour. Shoot. Gotta get rid of it. There you go. Okay? Okay. So fine, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, it's fine. Just again, I'm looking at this and we're stuck right in the middle. So is it going to go up or down when we're in the middle? I don't know. If you're a bear, wouldn't you be preparing to sell it? Right? We were at a 50% fib, let's say, just eyeballing it. So what's a bear going to do? Right? And at what levels would they consider doing that? Well, somewhere between the 382, 50%, 618. Okay. Now, on a smaller time frame, they're likely to look for something like this first, right? Yeah. Well, Dom, you put up a daily chart, I have to analyze it, and I'm like, doesn't really tell me anything. Right? It means more to you because you're looking at it, and humans have confirmation bias. So you look at this and you're like, oh, it's definitely going up. And I'm like, well, why is it definitely going up? Oh, well, we made a higher high over here. Like, okay, yeah, it should go up. It can almost as easily come down. But, I don't disagree with what you're doing here. On the smallest of time frames, so like your 5-minute chart looks most relevant, I suppose. Or the 4-hour, the 5 minutes. So you skip like 15 and 1. So like the 15 would be better, more effective to tell me the timing of such things. So skipping from the 4-hour to the 5-minute. Yeah. So I'm missing a little bit on the smaller time frame. Cool. Not a bad trade at all, right? I think I don't know what we're talking about, like today. I mean, it's probably 50-50. Okay. Now, I also know that we're kicking off $50 a barrel on oil. So that's helpful. That's helpful, relevant information. Okay. No, I'm sure you do, Dom. I'm just analyzing the post. But I like it. It's good. It's nothing ridiculous. So you guys see how Echo does his charts? Very clearly and plainly shows the support and resistance and direction. I'd like you to do something similar, if you can. It'd be great if your chart said like this, right? Makes sense to me. I see the price action, will reversal, kick off a moving average. Yeah, cool. Right? So like when I look at this, do I know the trade plan? So now I got to figure it out. See, like Echoes, I look at him like, oh, I see what he's doing. Boom. Easy, right? Yesterday, price reached the weekly target and immediately slowed down its tanking. This price is currently at a lower low. I am anticipating a lower high at WS1 before price continued to decline. All right, this is what it smells like to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but it smells like this. Okay. According to pivot theory, price should return, may return, can return, might return, should? No, there's no should. May return to the weekly's pivot after reaching the target early in the week. Okay. Both weekly S1 and weekly pivot points stand as resistance at this point, and a rally, yes. Okay, I agree with that. Because in more simple terms, what we're looking at is a market like this. Didn't quite get that one right. Okay. And I guess if we were pitchforking it, there'd be a pitchfork in here somewhere, right? So, yeah, it's falling. Look to sell it at the next level of resistance and continue doing so until it stops falling. I'm good with that. Bravo. Oh. Cool. Hey, are you going to upload your photo? I'm sure you're pretty like your mama. Let's do maybe one more. Oil. Let's do some oil. After oil reached monthly target 48.80. So move up, current level, yeah, all right. Price action move, in a place where bulls that took counter trend trades at the beginning of the month would look to take profit and bears would enter. All right. And I'm guessing that's at the $50 level. The 4-hour chart, we reached the weekly bullish, okay. Oh, so you're saying because this is a trend line break? Okay. That's fine. I'm usually more interested in this break here, but okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that. That looks fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not subjective. All right, cool. So then up into here, off of a roll reversal. Yep. Okay. Right. Lower high, lower low. Predicting a lower high, lower low on the daily. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But remember, the longer term move is up, most likely. Most likely we can break 50, not necessarily, but most likely, I think, because we still got those OPEC cuts and all that kind of stuff, and we got Fed meetings coming up down the road, and there's some hope there. I'm not necessarily a bull, but I think it could go through 50, but not today, right? So, yeah, I'm good with that. That's some good analysis. I appreciate the clarity on, it's well written, well organized thought process. I like the fact that I can see exactly what you're thinking, so I don't have to stop, read, and think, who's got the time for that? So that's a nice post. Thank you very much. Okay, you can see 3 out of 21 is great. I still don't understand why so many people wouldn't leave even a basic common courtesy of a like, but I don't know. Okay. Cool. Let's see how many other posts have you made. Nice. Yeah. Lots of likes. I can see it. So good work. Very consistently getting some likes. Look at this Kiwi one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very good post. Appreciate it. Okay. With that, why don't we pull the plug? Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Thank you for posting on Forex.Today. Please leave feedback and comments for those that are taking the time to post. As you can see, this takes a little bit of effort, right? So if it only takes you 1 second to leave a comment or click a like, I just don't understand why you wouldn't do that. Also, please go to TradersWay.com, open up a trading account. Namaste. Give us the opportunity to serve you and your Forex trading business. And I will see you again tomorrow. Maybe bring a friend, huh? See you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.